Hello friends. So, I record today. I don't know what's happening is the best thing I will tell you. I've just woken up. It is like 6:46. I'm watching Collision. We still got to up those downs. I'm able to show you. There you go. You can see a little bit. Good old Fight TV. And again, I don't know if I'm ever even going to be able to put this up. But yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I got an email saying, Simon, make sure you're here at a certain time backstage at Wembley for AEW All In. Had a bit of a freak out. Didn't tell anyone, apart from my girlfriend, of course. I'm very much a don't jinx it kind of a guy. Getting the ups and downs done. We'll then stroll down to Wembley. The Premier Inn, just literally Wembley is outside of my window. My jaw is killing me right here because I had a match at Progress yesterday, a 6-man tag, which was super duper fun. So far we are ticking all those boxes. And yeah, look, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to document of this because I want to be respectful. And I don't want to cross any lines because I think that's really, really important, especially when someone does give you an opportunity. Maybe we're just going to have some fun backstage. Maybe I just get to say hello to all the AEW crew, which we rock. Maybe it's something else. We don't know, but we shall capture my reactions because it's a very 2023 thing to do.
So, that is right. I am sure you may have heard about this if you follow me on social media, because I made sure to retweet every single person that tweeted at me, or X'd, whatever the hell we're calling it. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm going to be slightly not as direct or specific as I probably could be, and talk more about the experience rather than go, this happened, then that happened, because I do want to be respectful. And first and foremost, I just want to shout out Sean Dean massively. Sean Dean obviously works for AEW. You would have seen him on Ring of Honor. You would have seen him on Dynamite. I'm sure he's been on Rampage and Collision too. But he also does a lot of behind the scenes work. And he is the dude that I chatted to about all of this. And he very graciously said, Simon, do you want to come along to Wembley to All In to do some extra stuff for the day? And I said, you bet your ass that I do. And I do also want to shout out, this is a very strange thing, but if he sees this, he'll totally get it. I want to shout out Sean and his wife as well, because they're both big fans of Ups and Downs, which is one of the reasons we kind of started to chat to begin with. And that blows my brain. Like, anybody that's made it to the tippity top of the professional wrestling world, which, don't forget, if you've been signed to a major company, you have, drives me nuts sometimes, where you see, the crazy people on the internet, be it WWE or AEW or Impact, throwing shade at certain wrestlers. Like, did you realize they're a real big deal? They're like a real successful entity. The first time you take a bump in a training session, I'm sure that people hope they get there, but it's not a guarantee. So if you actually do, you should be doing backflips. So yes, he's the main person I did want to shout out, just because he got me in there and allowed me to just have the best time ever. I mean, if nothing else, just being backstage at Wembley is pretty cool. It's Wembley Stadium. I've been there a lot of times to see bands play and football matches and who knows what.
I mean, it's pretty ridiculous, right? Stood in Wembley, getting to see all of this, 80,000 people plus. I don't think I'm going to be able to post this, who knows? There's the entrance, there's the ring, sorry, all that stuff. Seats. Badass entrance over there. I quite like it. It's subtle, but it's just, I think what they've done is they've done a setup so they get even more seats in, which is crazy. Can I do this? Yeah, let's do it that way. I don't know if you can hear me or not. We're doing what we can. I mean, it's just nuts. Why am I here? What is going on? I bet one person finds me, right? It's that damn Ups and Downs guy. Flub him.
So, just to see the whole operation happening, for lack of a better term, was super duper cool. And I felt super duper privileged to be there, especially because, once we'd been checked in, whatever the right word would be, and given our orders for the day, I just got to walk out onto where the pitch would be. All the chairs are out there, but no fans have been let in. See the setup, see the ring, see the entranceway, see all the wrestlers coming out and having a chat about whatever it may have been. And you're just kind of like, man, this is an experience I should probably keep in my pocket for a long ass time. Probably until the day that I die. So it's a massive thumbs up for that, just to begin with. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this video. I did and ah about doing this video because, again, I don't want to give too much away, because I think there is still a certain amount of magic with pro wrestling, and that makes me sound like a cheesy idiot. And now you can throw things at your computer screen, although only you will be at fault for that, because you'll be ruining your own setup. But at the same time, this is another reason I wanted to make it. None of this happens without people watching these videos. I'm well aware. It's not just opportunities like this. It's my wrestling matches. It's the fact that I have a cameo. It's the fact that I have merchandise. It's all of this. I totally understand where it comes from, because you guys watch these videos, you watch the Ups and Downs videos, you watch the What Culture videos, and we've managed to build this really cool, nice community, and that means the world to me. I will never take it for granted. I'm always super duper humbled by it. I will always keep my feet on the ground, and I will always say hello. That's the other thing. It's a weird thing to say, but somebody messaged me today saying, Simon, I saw you're all in, but I didn't want to say hello. You can always say hello to me. I'm just a random idiot that got, well, I do work hard, but everybody works hard, that got lucky on the internet. So I want to talk about, obviously, the more, I don't know, what do we even call it? The highlight moment? I wouldn't even call it that because it was all a highlight. But there we were with ideas going back and forth about, what could we need extras for and what potentially do we not need extras for, when it was decided that Miro and Powerhouse Hobbs were going to do a contract signing. I mean, I'm pretty sure this was already organized and stuff. And I thought, we should probably have security for it, just so, they've got some people to ping around. They were like, we'll get the extras. I was like, wait a minute, you're putting me in a Miro segment? Now, have you been watching my ups and downs since 2016? I flub and love Rusev, I flub and love Miro. So I was like, this works for me. And that's the coolest thing ever because, you put on your black clothes to represent security. And, you go through everything that is going to happen. But my favorite part is, and we're going to use nerd wrestling vernacular here, so you're allowed to get annoyed at me again, is you're stood in the gorilla position. It's just because I am 12 years old, I'm a child, for my entire life, I just had a bunch of fun with it. And I was like, imagine, you're about to go out and have a match. Do you know what I mean? I kind of deliberately put myself in that imagination land, like it's a South Park episode. And then, eventually you get the go sign, you got to go to the ring. So everyone goes out to the ring. Bless you in the crowd. Anyone that started to go Simon and did the mini up chant. I mean, I didn't break. I hope I didn't break, but you absolutely made my day. And the absolute most badass thing is you get in that ring. Now, of course, this was the pre-show. People are still filing into Wembley. You have to get 80,000 people in there. It's going to take a while. And I also think that 0 hour of the pre-show started a bit earlier than people were expecting. So, maybe people weren't ready for this. But you stood in there. Again, I would say it's about half full. So I say 40,000 people at a guesstimate. When Miro's music hit and he came out, because Powerhouse Hobbs was in the ring already, the TV does not do it justice. Like, sometimes you get these reports going, oh man, the crowd was rubbish on TV. Obviously, I've been to a load of events before, so I've had this at a lesser level. But I watched this back, does not come across on TV. The ovation for Miro, I felt it in my bones. I was like, oh my gosh, it was absolutely absurd. Obviously, he comes to the ring. They get into it. They have a bit of a fight, and after Powerhouse Hobbs got clotheslined over the top by Miro, me and a bunch of other guys got there to try and restrain him. He threw me into Barry Barricade, which was also a highlight for me. Again, it wasn't planned. It was just something that something that happened. Not when I was out there, but afterwards, I was like, man, that is so poetic. And this is what I like about life sometimes. Now we really are going to get cheesy and over the top, but hey ho, I like doing it, so we're going to do it. It's my channel. Why wouldn't I do it? I love it when these little things come about. Like, I don't know why I started laughing about people getting thrown into the barricade. Probably just because it happens all the time on wrestling, and I like to look for those tropes and kind of, ham them up because wrestling is meant to be fun. And the fact that the counter, the counter we do on ups and downs, obviously, I said we get to 100, then we're retired. Technically, we'd already got to 100 that day because of AEW Collision. But still, the fact we were around that number, and I can technically, but not technically, be the 100th person that got thrown into, I was like, this is what day? What a majestic day. And I just loved it. I mean, I really, really did. Like, when I first started wrestling, you see people that you train with or whatever, and they get extra work in WWE or AEW, whatever it may be. I think NXT used to do it a lot as well. I think that may be complete nonsense. And you always think, I wonder how you get that. So to be able to tick that box is just a small thing. Like, of course, everybody, if you're in Dreamland, you want to main event the thing, but it's baby steps.
All right, that's like Wembley. There it is. Now I got to try and find where I go in. Do I go in like the normal door? Is there a special door? Am I going to be turned away? Are people going to be like, it's that asshole off the internet? Probably. That'll be the main story from today. Asshole from the internet. This is all very confusing to me. There's a door open here. It's a toilet. Ooh, maybe we just go in there. Should we go hide? Look, just go hide in the toilets, right? I think I should do it.
It was just a cool thing to do. And when you do have a few people in the crowd going, so I'm from what culture? It does. It makes you feel warm and fuzzy in your tum-tum, especially because you're like, how did I get here? How am I doing this? What is that? Who am I? Am I about to, imposter syndrome kicks in? Am I about to be kicked out of here? So, we did all of that, and then we had a little something to do in the Stadium Stampede. That match was so much carnage. Like, we didn't really get on camera as much as I had hoped. I mean that in a good way, not in a bad way. But please let me be on camera because it would be fun. It doesn't happen. It's not a problem. I'm well aware this show has nothing to do with me, and nobody actually cares that much. But it was still cool to be stood in the bar, and here come Eddie Kingston and Claudio Castagnoli whipping each other's ass, and you get to sell for them, I guess, for once again, for lack of a better term. It was just cool being part of the show and being told you got to be here at this time, then we're going to take you here, then this is going to happen, you're going to do it. It's like, oh, this is it's the biggest wrestling show ever in terms of paid tickets, and I get to have a teeny tiny role in it. And also, listen, social media is nonsense, we all know this, and the serotonin boost, or the whatever it is that you get when your notifications do go off, ultimately it's a waste of time, because by tomorrow it's back to zero again, and you have to fill that back up. It's why it's an absolute ludicrous platform to begin with. But at the same time, when you do go on, I'm still going to call it Twitter, when you do go on your Twitter and Instagram, and I've never had anything, I mean, those posts that went out there are the best I've ever done in terms of engagement. And the reason I like it is because it's a little way to show that people care. And I had so many nice messages. Again, another reason I wanted to make this video, just to say thank you very much. Because at the end of the day, when I got into bed and I just read some of them, I could not read all of them, which is a wonderful thing to be able to say, because it was overwhelming. It was just like, it's cool, man. It's like a little moment. And that adds to it as well when you have that instant feedback of people being pleased for you, especially because, not in a bad way, I don't know, we know each other through the internet, but it's not like we have a personal relationship. And it's awesome that people give a damn. Like, it just is. It's very motivational, and it's very inspirational. And as another headline I do just want to throw out there, again, I'm not gonna name drop, because I don't want it to come across like it was ever done for this kind of reason. It wasn't. Everything I said to anybody backstage was totally genuine, and not done to, again, try and pull something out of it. But a lot of people said nice things about the YouTube show, about ups and downs, and about my positive approach to wrestling. And that's awesome, because if you have been on this journey with me, you will know at the start it was not like that. And a lot of people hated the irony. A lot of people hated the positivity, and they went nuts on the internet. Now, thankfully, by that point, I already had a thick skin. My skin is even thicker now, so I didn't care. I actually found it quite funny. Some comments always get you. I'm not Superman. Of course not. Words sometimes do get through. But to get to the point now where, again, once again, there are lots of people that agree with this. They like it. It's fun to be positive Pete's. And then some of the wrestlers are like, the kind of content that, I can actually enjoy. One wrestler, again, who will name nameless, quoted Barry Barricade at me. I thought, this is the best. This is the best. This is the best flipping day ever. And just as a ridiculous way to end this video, I got to eat in catering. And because I'm a nerd, I was sat with the rest of the extras. And again, salute to those guys. Every single one of them are just the best. And I was so happy to be able to spend the time with them. But I was such a nerd. I was like, oh man, it's like catering. How many times have we read like news reports about this happened in catering and that happened in catering? It's like, sweet. I mean catering. Look, I'm a wrestling nerd. Of course I'm a wrestling nerd. I'm not ashamed by that. There's something very cool about eating your plate of chicken, which is what I was doing, because I'm a parody of myself. And you look around, you go, oh, there's that guy, and there's that guy. And you get to say hello to them and just tell them how much you appreciate their work. So I'm totally done now. People will say I'm biased for the rest of my life, but I don't care, because I know I'm not biased. That's the most important thing in the world. And the only thing I will back on, I only had one of these, is people going, you're such a biased journalist. What world am I a journalist? I don't have any sources. I don't write any news stories. I wiggle my finger around. At the very best, I'm an opinionator. And I just made that up. But, I'm never going to turn opportunities down, ever. Life is about experiences. Life is about putting yourself in. And when I say uncomfortable positions, I don't mean I don't want to be here. I mean, oh man, this is scary. This is a little bit intimidating. Let's walk into it and see what goes down. I wouldn't necessarily say that was one of these, because I was more exciting and pumped than I was, oh, what's going to happen? But there was a little bit of that too, deep down in your tum-tum. So it was a terrific day. It's one I'll absolutely be able to hold on to forever. So yeah, it's just a quick video to say thank you to everyone who was so kind to me backstage. I'll truly never be able to get my head around it. I'm amazed that anybody. If my mum told me she was watching, I'd be like, really? You watch? So the fact that some of the wrestlers watch is amazing. It's awesome that you guys watch. Absolutely. That's the bread and butter and the whole thing. And, if as another sort of smaller side, to be able to get to watch the thing, not in a seat, but like either, in catering via the television hookup they had, or go to one of the entrance sort of aisleways and just kind of look down there and observe the crowd. What a unique way to watch that show. And I've been very lucky to go to sort of WrestleManias and these big stadium events. So this all just tied into what was a once in a lifetime experience. Well, hopefully not. Just a lifetime experience, because let's do it twice, right? And let's do it 3 times, let's do it 4 times, and let's manifest it into existence. So yeah, just some little tidbits. I don't want to spill too much beef, but once more, thank you so much to everyone that's involved. Thank you so much to everyone that made it happen. Thank you so much to everyone that sent me nice words. And no, it doesn't stop here. And I don't know what's next with any of it, But I shall continue to do whatever the hell it is that I do. That's right, comments go nuts. He said do. Every single time. There's that one guy. Genuinely, I should have remembered his username. But now we go on to what's next, because that's always been my thing. Super appreciative that it's happened. But now let's use it. And let's use it as a stepping stone to whatever it may be. May not even be connected at all. Maybe just be somebody I chatted to that day. I was chatting to the I think the Live Nation health and safety woman. She was super nice. She was really, really nice. I chatted to her. Who knows? Maybe something comes from that. Don't forget, after Stadium Stampede, it was those guys that had to clean up the mess, the things we don't think about when it comes to pro wrestling. So yes, one last thank you from me. One more thank you to you. Any thoughts you want to share, please do it in the comments below. Like, share the video, subscribe, all that stuff. Notification squad. Video on the screen right now. Please do give it a click. GorillaMind.com/Simon. If you want to get some supplements, you can use the code Simon to get 10% off. These are super duper good. Just did another big order. Should be here on Monday. Looking forward to it. Patreon.com/Simon316. Got a podcast, Simon's Pro Wrestling Show. Simon316 on Instagram and Twitter or X. I'm on Cameo. Personalized videos, messages, and merchandise. It's all in the link down there if you do want to support me in that way. But otherwise, you have already supported me because I got to be a part of All In. Does that make me a bald a-hole? Obviously.